Lekker, hope you get better.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Lekker record.
Alright, we're back. So today we start with the next one, with the first function in business, which is the administration. Sometimes it's overlooked and we think it's secretarial work, it's admin work, it's paperwork, but they do a lot more. They're actually responsible for handling of information. Now what that means is they are the people that's gathering information, they're sorting information, they're storing and they're retrieving information. Why do we need information? We need to share it with people. We need to share it with investors, with stakeholders, to make sure that they are on board with us when we have to make decisions. So administration is an important function that is actually covered in every other function. In the next one, I'll give a physical example where we talk about procurement or purchasing. So the process is you have to collect data. Now that's the easy way. That can be through questionnaires or interviews, or even through a person. Let's say procurement has to go and get quotes or tenders. All of that is collecting data. Processing it means you're putting it into one spreadsheet to see all the different companies tendering for this specific product. How do they compare? Like for like, extra service, transport, etc. And then storing the information means when you selected the cheapest supplier based on the following criteria, now you have information, and now that needs to be stored. Otherwise, for future use, you have to redo that. You'll always have to review it, update it, but it's important to do that. Why we need to make decisions? Important. How you do it is through the ICT, information communications technology, and you have to use technology for that process. Now this is done in general office work, paperwork, secretaries taking notes, answering phones, etc. But there's much more to it. Next one is purchasing. It's the buying of goods and services, but it must be at the best price, service, quality, quantity. Make sure that what you're buying is of such good value, because what you are putting into your product, the raw materials, if you put in good quality raw materials, your final product will be of great value or of great quality. But it comes always with a price tag. So now it's this, if we can say, conflict. Price versus quality, and you have to balance that, you have to negotiate, and this is where quantity comes in. Do you buy in bulk? But you have to first do your research. Who's the best supplier? Where do you get it? And why do you want to do it? And the biggest reason is you want to maximize your profit. If your input cost is high, your profit will be low. And another reason to make sure that purchasing is a good function is to maximize your stock control. If you buy in bulk and you organize this massive deal, but your stock control is out of control, that means you've got too much raw materials. You need to store that somewhere. And now warehousing is another factor that comes into play. Do you store your things inside or outside? And all of that has got a cost to it. You're paying for it, whether you like it or not. So stock control is important. Plus you need to keep account of all your stock. If it's going to expire in a few months or weeks or days, is it safe? Will people steal it? You have to think about all these things. So purchasing is not just going to a place and buying it. It's really a deep thinking process. You also have to use your trademarks, brand names to buy the correct items. The third and last one we're doing in this video is your marketing. Now marketing is about selling the goods that you've just produced, and we've just procured the raw materials, but now we have to sell it. Also at the best price with service, quality and quantity in mind, but it's now to a final consumer, and they want quality. So you must make sure that your production, which we're going to do after this, links up with procurement to get the best quality of raw materials in order to give you the best product. So you must do research, not on the raw materials, but marketing must understand what's the needs of the customers, what's their needs, what their wants, what's their problems. Because once we do that, we can actually create a product that is beneficial. This you can do through questionnaires, interviews. And can you see administration comes into this one as well? We need to get this data, combine it, process it, and then store it. The reason why we do marketing is to maximize our profit. Can you see this one goal? It will be a golden line throughout everything. Now here's one thing about marketers. They love to oversell, and that means you can run out of stock. One thing I hate about going to a shop is when I want to buy milk and there's no milk. That's my picture of that company. They don't sell milk, right? So next time when I want to go buy bread and milk and normally a few other things, I won't go to that first company. Why? They don't have milk. So that gives you an impression of the company, and therefore you do not need, you cannot oversell. All right, and this is where marketing also plays a big role. If you can create a great trademark or a brand name, people want to buy your product. It's a differentiator and different on your competitors. So, for example, Apple and Samsung, you know both are good quality, but it's the brand name that you want, right? So you've got your personal preferences, but the brand name can make or break your business. Okay, some activities to focus on in marketing is your product. What is your product? Will it solve a need? Will it solve a problem? What's the pricing? Where can they buy it? And what promotions do you offer it with it? You can read up on that, and it's important for marketing to understand how to apply these activities correctly in order to make profit. Next video will continue on.